Hey guys, this is Sam the Bay from the Etherscape team. Just want to do a quick video here. I keep seeing lots of posts on the Telegram for people wondering, hey, how do I create offers, to give liquidity against a staking pool, which I figured out a little while ago. So I thought I'd just go ahead and put a video together, show you guys how to do it, so anybody who wants to can. So let's jump right in. First thing you're going to need is you're going to have to download the Polkadot.js extension. This is how you're going to use your Enjin wallet from the browser and in the console. So you can just go to polkadot.js.org extension and install that for your browser. And then you're going to have this little orange P in your extensions up here in the top right. If you click that, then you can click the settings button here, or actually no, the plus button. And then you can click import account from existing seed. This will allow you to put in your 12 words and your whatever you need to do in order to import your wallet, so that you have your wallets all set up here. And then that's basically going to be the main thing that you need. Okay, from there, we're going to go to the Enjin Console. So you just type in console.enjin.io. That's going to take you there. And this is where, like as a developer, you can interact directly with the chain. So it'll take you to this page where you see, like recent blocks that are being produced on the chain. And then where you're going to want to go first is when you start out and go here, you'll probably be on the matrix chain. It'll look like this. This is the default. But all of the staking happens on the relay chain. So we need to switch to the relay chain. So you can switch. You click the button there, and then you go from matrix chain to relay chain via Enjin and click switch. And now this is going to bring you to the relay chain. And you can go to accounts and you can see your accounts here. You should see, at least the one that you intend to use should be added here. Okay, so next thing, we need to talk a little bit about how staked Enjin works, because this is going to be important later. So first thing we want to do is go to network staking, and then we want to go to pools. So these are the different pools that you could stake against and add liquidity to. And this is their pool number, which is very important. We're going to use this later. So these will map to some pool that you see in the Enjin wallet. So pool 0 here is called pool number 1 on the Enjin wallet. So, but one really important point is how staked Enjin works. So when you stake an Enjin into a pool, you exchange that Enjin token for one S-Eng, they call it, or staked Eng in the pool. And the important thing here, and like when you withdraw from the pool, you get it back. But the important thing is that the ratio, like the value of Enjin to staked Enjin, is not 1-to-1. So that means that if the pool has accrued rewards, the staked Eng will stay the same, but basically the value of each staked Eng will increase. And so we need to know what that ratio is, because that's going to be important. So let me show you how to find it. If we take pool 0, we can drop down this arrow so that we can see the pool, and then we can click this pool 0 stash button. And then on the right side, it's going to open up a panel telling us how much Enjin this pool is worth. And you'll see that the total is 35.4 million Eng, versus the amount of points or Enjin that's been staked into the pool is about 32, right? Pretty much 32. So that shows us the ratio. So if we open up a calculator, pull this over, basically what we can do is we can say 32 Eng divided by 35.4, and that gives us this number, about 90.3%. So basically, like 90.3% is how much an Eng is worth compared to a staked Eng in this pool. Okay, so keep that number in mind. That's important. We'll come back to it later. With that, let's go talk about how to actually put up the offer now. So to put up the offer, we're going to click on Developer and go to Extrinsics. This will allow us to execute operations on chain. Once we have Extrinsics open, we're going to open to the Stake Exchange palette, and then we're going to select Create Offer. This is the one that will actually allow us to create an offer. So I'm going to go ahead and take my main wallet. Okay, first one is the total. So this is how much liquidity we want to add. How much Enjin are we going to put into the stake? So for the case of this, I'm just going to say I want to put 10. However, there's something very important here about how the console works with these U128 numbers. Basically, they're a particular way of representing a decimal number without actually using a decimal. And so what I mean by that is you need to put a bunch of zeros after it in order to get 1 eng, and the number of zeros is 18. So if I want 10 eng, I need to write 10, and then I need to put 18 zeros after it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this number here means 10 because it's 10 with 18 zeros on the end. So if I wanted to say 0.1, I'd put a 1 with only 17 zeros at the end. That would be 0.1 eng, right? So that allows you to represent a less than 1 number without using a decimal point, okay? Then the rate. So the first thing here is that this is called a per bill. Per bill means per billion. And so basically this is a common way of representing percentages on chain. And what it means is 100% is 1 billion. So if we want a 100% rate, it would be 1 billion. If we wanted a 10% rate, it would be 100 million. And if we wanted a 1% rate, it would be 10 million, and so on. Okay, so what does rate mean? Rate is the exchange rate that I'm going to provide for going from eng to staked eng, right? And so if I put 1 billion here, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 billion. That means a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm offering 1 eng for 1 staked eng, right? But remember, we just talked about how the staked eng is actually worth more than 1 eng if it has any reward in the pool accrued. So a 1-to-1 ratio actually means that the person taking the liquidity will be losing money when they take my offer because I'm getting a staked eng which is worth more than 1 eng, and they're just getting 1 eng back. So they actually lose money on that. So I may want to offer a lower rate, right? If I want to get into pool 1, for instance, I would need to give a better rate than this because they're going to lose approximately 10% money when they take my offer. So I'm going to target pool 1. So pool 1 was 90.3. So maybe I'll say instead of offering a 1-to-1, I'm going to do a 91. So here now I'm saying a 91% rate, which is going to get close to equal value. Like basically they will lose a tiny bit of money, like maybe 1% when they take my offer, but not 10%. So maybe that's a good enough deal because they'll get out of the pool early and I'll get some staked eng at a little bit of a benefit, right? So that's how this rate works. That's probably the trickiest part of this. The next one is the min average reward rate. So basically, I am not 100% sure what this means, to be honest. But basically, it's some expression of like, I will not accept staked eng in a pool that's not giving at least this reward rate. So it's going to depend on how much the commissions on the pool are configured to. I haven't played around with this much, but setting it to something like 5% is reasonable. So it's also a per bill. So 5% is equivalent to 50 million. So that'll give us a 5%, meaning I must have at least a 5% reward rate. Otherwise, I'm not going to do the exchange, right? So this is a reasonable configuration. So let's go ahead and then we can click the submit transaction button. And it's going to bring this up and it's going to ask us to sign it with our wallet. I'm going to click remember for the next 15 minutes because I don't want to keep typing in my password. So I'll sign the transaction. In the top right corner, you're going to see it's thinking about it. And then green. So it went through. Okay. So we went ahead and now the liquidity is on chain. Okay. So how do we check to see what our offer is? So let me show you how to do that. So now we can go to developer chain state. And then here again, we're going to select the stake exchange. And this time we're going to select next offer ID and click this little plus button. So this shows us that the next offer ID is going to be 33, which means that we just put an offer. So that would be the previous one. So our offer ID that we just put is 32. This is a good thing to write down somewhere so that you remember, so that when you're trying to think of like, hey, what offer did I put? Maybe you want to cancel the offer. You'll use this ID. So you'll want to remember 32 in this case. But we can go and switch from next offer ID to offers. And let's put in 32 as the ID and click the plus button. And here we go. This is the offer that I put. So you can see it that this is my chain address, a total of 10 eng. Remember, these 18 zeros are essentially the decimal places. So it's 10 eng. I'm giving a rate of 91% because I want to make it attractive for pool 1. and minimum average reward rate is 5%. So this is everything that I expected, right? So you can use this to check how your liquidity is doing. You can use that ID to cancel the liquidity. You can use that ID to add more liquidity. So there's also an extrinsic called add liquidity. So you can say, like, I'm just going to put more into this same offer I have. That allows you to just keep the offer going, which is useful. So this is how you can look. And as people accept the offer, this number here will go down, like in real time. So you'll be able to see it ticking down until it eventually gets to 0 or near 0. Okay, so one more important thing is about how you whitelist and blacklist what pools are allowed to take your liquidity. So just creating this offer by default, any pool that meets this min average reward rate, this offer is available for, and the staked Eng swap can happen. But maybe you don't want any pool. Maybe you have a specific set of pools in mind. For instance, pool 0 or pool 1, based on the wallet's nomenclature, is going to get the highest early bird reward rate. So maybe that's the one you're mostly interested in, right? So in which case we can do that. The chain supports that. So you can come to developer and go back to extrinsics. So let's go back to the extrinsics. We're going to go back to the stake exchange, but this time we're going to select configure liquidity account. Okay. And so this allows us to configure for our liquidity, what pools are we willing to accept? And so you can either say all is default, like I want all pools, or you can say I want to give a whitelist or a blacklist. So whitelist saying like only these pools are allowed, or blacklist saying all pools are allowed except for this set, right? So in my case, because I'm targeting pool 1, I'm going to say whitelist. Then you can click add item, and then you give the pool ID here. Remember, this was from the pools page. There was that list of IDs. We need the pool ID. So pool 0 is equivalent to pool 1 in the wallet. Or let's say I also want to say pool 2 is also okay. So then I can put a 1 here because pool number 2 in the wallet is actually pool ID 1. So if these are the two pools that I'm willing to accept my offer for, then I can go ahead and get those two, submit the transaction, and sign that. And now, after that is done, the offer will only be available for those two pools. And you can come back and rerun this transaction anytime if you want to change it, right? So if you want to add more pools or remove some, you just come run this again. It will overwrite the previous value. There we go. Now I got liquidity. It's offered. Somebody can swap for it, and then I'll get more staked Enjin into that particular pool if they take the offer. One thing to bear in mind, I think Enjin has a protection right now that if the loss on the staked Eng is more than, I want to say 5%, but it might even be lower, like 3%, I don't remember, they will hide it in the wallet because they want to make sure nobody gets scammed and takes a swap that's like too negative for their value. So it's really important that you set that rate to something that's close enough to a one-to-one offer, like within a few percentage points. Otherwise, the wallet's not going to offer or show it, and then nobody's going to take it because you could accept it through this console, but it's much more tricky. I think nobody will do it. So make sure you're getting pretty close to the right rate for whatever pool you're targeting. Secondly, just to wrap it up, there's also a cancel offer here. So and remember my offer was 32, so you can just say cancel offer 32, and if I sign this and submit that, that's going to cancel my offer. So all the Eng that had been reserved for that offer will now be released back to my wallet, and I can use it for whatever I want. All right. That's basically how you do the stake exchange offers. I hope that this helps people who are hoping to put liquidity on. It's a great way to get some liquidity or to get some staked Eng in the older pools. I was able to get a fair amount of additional Eng staked into pools 1 and 2 using this. So look forward to folks being able to do that. As always, quick plug, check out the Etherscape if you want to. We are building an awesome shared world game that's building on top of pretty much every single feature that Enjin offers, with an amazing vision of kind of a player-driven economy, really giving all the power back to the players. If you want to check it out, check out the Etherscape, the-etherscape.com. See y'all later.